Hey guys, welcome back to the Sabbath Generation podcast. I'm your co-host Audrey, and I'm joined by two special guests and our other co-host. May you guys please introduce yourselves?
Hey everyone, my name is Priska. I'm excited to be here. I think they normally call me the chief talker at my workplace. So I'm actually excited about this sensitive topic today.
Morning, everyone. I'm Edmo Minyoro. I'm also happy to be here, trying to assist in this topic that is very sensitive sometimes, but I think it will be very educative, I guess.
Hi everyone, my name is Busison Ndlovu and I'm happy to be here with our two lovely guests.
Thank you guys for joining us today. As we are about to dive into a topic, infidelity, what do you guys understand by the term infidelity?
Infidelity, I think when you hear the word infidelity, you start talking about or thinking about relationships. And like I said off camera, that infidelity is the opposite of fidelity. You know, when you look at the word fidelity, it actually refers to faithfulness, it refers to loyalty, it refers to integrity, honesty, and things like that. So then, when you talk of infidelity, you're looking at the opposite of that.
Anyone else?
Okay, when we talk about infidelity, we always think it's about physical cheating. That's how I understand it. But there's more to it. It's more like a very extensive topic. There's religious infidelity. There's emotional infidelity. Then there's this physical infidelity, which we're more aware of, and it's a very sensitive topic. So, like what Mr. Munyoro said, it's all comes from a relationship somewhere. It might be a relationship with God. It might be a relationship with your partner. So it's a very extensive topic, but it's all about cheating. You can go to this man or this women who have, hate you. It's very difficult to forgive because once trust is broken, it's shattered. It's difficult. It kills your self-esteem as a person. Like in my case, I was like, what's wrong with me? You know, you go to the mirror, you look at yourself and you'll be like, what's wrong with me? It kills you psychologically. You'll be like, am I not beautiful enough? Am I not working? You know, you try to look for all the faults. Then you will struggle to forgive. And you know what? Sometimes you can tell yourself, okay, I've forgiven you. The day when you think this phone is ringing at 12 midnight, you're thinking it's another woman. Maybe it's an emergency, but it's not that other woman, because in my mind, your phone mustn't ring.
Yeah.
If you dress nice and you're going out and I'm not sure where you're going out, in my mind, I'm like, oh, he's going to see this woman again. So when it comes, I'm talking about physical infidelity here. So this one is difficult. It needs the two partners to sit down and try. You must learn to bury the past, of which is very difficult. A psychologist can tell you, okay, do this, but what works on Mr. Munyoro and his wife will not work on me and my husband. It's too different. And I'm telling you from experience. It took me, I think, about 4 years to forgive my ex-husband. Like now I can see him and greet him. I can even joke with him. I can even, okay, one day time I can buy you. But I didn't want to see his cause. I didn't want to talk to him because I was hurt. So this one is a tricky one. But if you sit down as adults and say, you know what, let's put this into history, then you work towards it. But how do you work towards that? You know, there's the issue of self-esteem. There's an issue of trust. You need to rekindle that. You need to build that back. But how do you do it? You sit down, you'll be like, okay, what leads to this? What leads to this? What leads to this? Then you work towards that. Then maybe you can be able to forgive each other. Yes.
Yeah, I think the way she puts it, it's, for me, is quite interesting.
Yeah.
And it just opens a window of possibility.
Yes.
I want to use the word that she used, difficult.
Yeah.
When you say something is difficult, the possibility is already there.
Yes.
While it's difficult, what she's saying is that it can be done.
It's not impossible.
It's not impossible. So, for me, it's possible because I've experienced 2 that I have worked on. I've been involved, and 1 that I heard from a friend, and I heard it in an interview. The person mentioning it in an interview, like Priska is doing now, where forgiveness was done, and the marriage continued. But I think the biggest thing that I've seen that causes people not to sometimes, not in every particular case, but generally speaking, is the fact that we tend, when something like that happens, we tend to broadcast it.
Yeah.
So when you involve too many people, it then causes people to say, everyone knows now, if I forgive this person, what are they going to say?
I look stupid. Yeah,
In the 2 cases that I'm talking about, that I was called and I went there, and the 2 people were there in the room,
Yeah.
right? And I went there as the 3rd person, and we spoke about this. They wanted to tell their family. I said, if you want to tell your family, it's fine, but give it a week or 2 if you really want to do this. Separated for 3 weeks, they came back and they were together, and the families don't know.
Yeah.
It's the 2 of them that know, and the 1 that was involved in there. So if you wanted to go and tell somebody, but I know he wasn't going to, because he's also a Christian. So you wouldn't want to broadcast it.
No.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Beautiful. So I wonder if we're putting the cart before the horse by talking about forgiveness before we get into the effects of this thing. But maybe I want to latch on that thought on forgiveness to say, so let's say we have a victim, person has been cheated on, and then we have a perpetrator. Are there certain behaviors maybe that the perpetrator must display to make it easier for the victim to forgive, right? Because I can say I'm sorry, and then so should I start texting you every time I'm going? I'm here now. I'm with so and so. What can the person who has harmed the other person do in order for the other person to find it slightly easier to actually accept back and forgive?
Priska, that's over to you.
Okay, this one is an interesting one. Okay. How do we overcome infidelity? That's where we are now. Like what I said, this is a very extensive topic.
Right,
Yes. So if it's physical infidelity, first of all, you need to sit down as 2 partners. Okay. You need to sit down and find out what led to that. Maybe there was emotional disconnection. Like what I said, like maybe you used to call me sweetheart, you used to do this, I used to dress up. Because you never know when it comes to men, I think men believe in what they see. And women believe in what men say.
Okay.
So if you call me sweetheart, continue calling me sweetheart. Yeah. The moment you're going to call me a gwinya,
You're like, yo, what's wrong
I'm
with
not
you
a
now?
gwinya.
Yeah.
Different
So
thing.
you need to dig into that. When we got married, what happened? There was a parenthood. You find out sometimes women, we tend to concentrate on kids.
Yeah.
But I'm forgetting about the emotional needs of my husband.
husband.
I no longer have time for him. If you used to have dates, there's no dates
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
Then it kills the whole thing, because there's a backbone, a background where you start with your relationship, and that's where we're failing as youngsters, especially us as youngsters. We're failing on that. Once I'm married, is fine.
Yeah.
We can have housekeepers, but I don't want a housekeeper to cook for my husband every day.
Yeah.
It kills the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because you're not the wife here.
Yeah.
No matter how I work, like if I can tell you my job,
Yeah.
it's complicated. But it doesn't mean that I have to blame my job that I don't communicate with my partner. And at the end of the day, I don't want my partner to act as if he's a slave or I'm a slave.
Yeah.
We mustn't reach to that stage where he's going to say at Mobile SDA, okay, I'm in Mobile police station, I'm now in Rondebosch, I'm now in this.
Yeah.
No, that
Location.
becomes monotonous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I must just know that you went to SDA. If you go into your mechanic, go there, you'll be like, I'm delayed, I'm at the mechanic now. I don't need to know. Like me as a woman, I don't want to know what you're doing every 2 seconds. No. I want a man who like, okay, I'll see you after 2 hours. That is what is a beautiful relationship. Because the moment I want to know where you are, okay, if you're going to steal, are you going to tell me that you're going to steal and you think I'm going to sit down and think about it? No. So when it comes to physical infidelity, you have to look at what led to that. If it's emotional disconnection, work on your emotions. If you used to go on this, plan dates, go on trips. If you as a wife, you used to dress like now, why must I start looking like dressing as if I'm in a war zone? Wake up as if you are going to work, not you're like in a war zone. Women, when we go out or when we go to church, we dress up. But come to our houses. You walk in, I'll be in a war zone.
Minimum effort.
Minimum effort. But, so am I going to church so that the pastor must see that, this one's wife is dressed like this? It kills the whole point. You must do it for your partner. You know, I work with Innocent.
Yeah.
Innocent is one person who knows that I like to dress up. And is one person who told me, Priska, today, Priska,
It's not
I
on.
think, because he knows that's what I am. So I'm not going to change that because I get married one day. Okay, let's talk about religious infidelity. You see, there's some people, I can call them hypocrites. Okay, religious hypocrites. Just be able to stand in one church. Why do you want to be SDA tomorrow? The next second you are going to this church, you are going to this church. Stick to your one God. That's what I feel. Because, as Christians, you must be able to stand there and people can say, okay, she's a Christian. Not like, does she come from Buddha? Is she Muslim or what? Then there is also cheating called micro-cheating.
Okay.
Now we're talking about the modern era, applications. The moment you irritate me, let's say now there's emotional disconnection, I'm angry, I'm depressed. What's the next thing I'm going to do? I'm going to find my ex. And these days it's easy. We're going to start flirting. The next thing I'm going to send him videos. Because you're calling me a gunya, you're not calling me a cupcake. This guy is going to... And this guy are good. They are bloody good. He will call you every day. He will text you, hey, sweetheart, but you are busy calling me a guinya. So when it comes to that, you need to go back there. Where you be like, what led to micro-cheating? What led to financial cheating? Because you gave me time to... You didn't give me time. You didn't give me emotional needs. Because when it comes to relationship, they're like a garden. They're like flowers. You need to water them. You need to shower them with love. If you don't water your garden, what is going to happen? You're going to give me time to go to the... And these exes, they are like vouchers. They are standing, they are waiting for you. And they will act as if they're going to give you the whole world. So you need to go dig into that. What led to that? Okay. Then you can sort it from there.
Thank you.
My one, I wanted to just mention that I think that would be an interesting one where these days there's iPhones.
Yes.
You can track the movements. I know one such a couple that had that where somebody tracked them on saying, why are they standing at that corner all the time? So you could do that to prove that I'm not going into that corner anymore unless you change the meeting point.
I'll go and park the car in the church. Then I'll take Uber. Then you'll be thinking I'm parking at the church. You see, that's mistrust. Someone can actually go park at the church and I'll take Uber. And the car, the track as a church.
But what I wanted to say is that you can prove. Yes, I think like what Priska is saying, it's something that is going to take a long time. It's not going to be a quick fix, especially with trust, because we're dealing with emotional things here. So it's not going to be a quick fix, but there is need for the person, the perpetrator, to show remorse. And being able to communicate the remorse to the other person so the other person can really see that. I think that's where therapy comes in. I was also trying to, maybe I'll get it right, to understand the difference between counseling and therapy. I don't know. Where is
I
the-
still don't know till
Would
this
they-
day.
because therapy, I think, will guide you to be able to express the remorse.
Okay.
So that they guide you, they coach you to be able to show remorse to the other person. That they see that you have actually, you are walking towards transformation.
Yeah.
So that when you communicate to them, you communicate the right things, and also when the transparency is there, I think it will be clear to the other person that I think when there was a password on your phone, there's no password now. Yes, obviously people can delete or can what, but when you delete, one day you leave a comma there. You think you have deleted everything. You leave a comma there or a full stop, and then they say, but there is a full stop on Florence.
Yeah, who's parents?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking there is ways that you can show that you're remorseful, and the other person will start healing. I think people heal, Chief. And God has made our hearts in such a way that they're able to heal
Yeah.
when trauma or anything happens to you.
Yeah, true. And why do you think people? Why do they cheat? Why do people cheat? And I like looking at things like relationships. I just like, it's a beautiful thing. Why would you even?
It is, yeah.
Why would you even cheat? And what are certain red flags? I remember you speaking about dating. You're like, there's certain red flags that you shouldn't ignore. What are those certain red flags? You're just like, this one is a potential cheater. What are those? What are those red
I think
flags?
Priska will be able to guide us, especially when she talked about technology.
Yeah.
Let's look at that.
Yeah.
Back then maybe it was very difficult.
Yeah.
Because people just meet in a bush somewhere. There's no communication. There's no letter.
Yeah.
But these days, I think it's easy to get caught.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it is.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just in a few minutes.
Yeah, please tell us.
Okay, like what I said, there are so many factors which lead to cheating. Like what I said that you can see some red flags when you're dating. Like he raised a good thing about password. I feel between partners, there mustn't be a password on our phones.
Okay.
Ooh, interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Why is
Yes.
That's openness.
That's openness. We're talking about faithfulness here. But like now, we've got technology. I'll warn you, okay, here's my phone, there's no password, but I've got a group, a work group. When you're at work, you talk nonsense. You talk nonsense. Maybe I even have got a nickname.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
warn you that if you go into my work chat,
Yeah.
please. We've got families. Maybe I want to talk about you with my family. You're gonna find yourself there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got our past school groups.
Okay.
David was my friend. This one was my friend. Maybe you're going to find out I was a tomboy.
Yeah.
Maybe it's mainly boys who still talks to me.
Yeah.
I'll warn you. Okay, here's my phone, no password. But for me as a person, why there mustn't be a password? You're going to have a heart attack, anything can happen. I want to have access with your phone. Yeah. Then what?
Yeah.
Oh, if you want to put a password, fine. But I must know your password.
Okay, yes.
But when it comes to women, that one is a difficult one. Passwords with women. Women, I don't know whether it's in our nature or what. We always think there's something going on. We always look for baboons in the
Suspicious.
mountains.
Suspicious.
But you know what I always say?
What do you
I
say?
always say if you look for baboons
Yeah.
in the mountains, you find them in the mountains, not in the river.
Oh.
So you find them because you're gonna find that someone is talking nonsense about me at work in my child group. You're going to crack. You're going to see I'm talking about you with your sister. You're going to crack. So
Priska,
Yes.
there's something interesting that you said, but I want to take another slight angle.
yes,
For me, I think we have to be practical. I have seen that openness helping me
Yeah.
as a person. Where, because at work, like some of us who use public transport to travel. In the train, you meet people. Here, you meet people at church. But you see, you might meet people that have got ideas.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And then you converse. Yes. But you know, women have got this other eye that can see things beyond what you see. Because men sometimes are led into conversation. They don't even see that this conversation is going in the wrong way. And your wife can help you in that conversation and say, my friend, this conversation is not going right. You need to be careful. So I've seen that openness helping. So to quash the infidelity, something that might lead to something. Because you can be led without you knowing. Because there are people that are just, I don't know whether they are clever or it's an art.
Yeah.
Some have an art. They drag you in a corner. Before you know it, you're in a dark room.
You're trapped.
So I think by being open, it helps you. Priska, you have to guide me and say, no, this conversation is not right. So I'm thinking that openness in that case.
Yeah.
Is right. And also your former school groups are dangerous also.
But I don't want my former groups to think that I can't talk.
Yeah, they're like, yo, you changed, you switched up on us and everything. Yeah.
They must know you're still there.
You're still the vibey Priska that you were before.
I'm going to give you a very good example, Mr. Myoro, like what you said about this openness.
Yes.
I work in a restaurant. I've got my kitchen staff, they need to be picked.
Yeah.
Then we used to use Uber those days. We didn't have like a transport which you could, So the Uber driver was late, and we work at night. We are a night restaurant. Then I phoned this Uber driver. Remember, this is like 12 midnight. I'm phoning him, but his home is bathing. I didn't know that he went home to quickly bath. So the wife picked the phone. What did she do? She started shouting at me, yelling at me. This and them, all the names. I'm like, okay, when you're done shouting, I'll answer you. I'm like, can I speak to this one? Oh, nice, this time. Then I'm like, can I speak to him? She didn't want. Then the husband said he could hear that the wife was shouting. Then he phoned. I'm like, can you put that phone on the speaker? I'm like, please. I'm like, woman, listen to me carefully. Do you know where is your next bread coming from? Your husband is late to pick my kitchen stuff. She was so embarrassed. So you see, like what we're saying, if this husband have told her that, okay, maybe Priska is going to phone, I'm supposed to pick this and this. This woman wasn't going to shout at me.
She wasn't going
But
to play
just
defense.
imagine if I didn't control my anger, I was going to shout back then. Is it necessary? So sometimes openness is very necessary. Okay, now you were asking about what actually leads to cheating.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk more about physical cheating.
Okay.
I talked about emotional disconnection.
Yeah, financial as well.
You know, sometimes emotional disconnection can happen either while you're dating or when you're in a marriage. You emotionally disconnect. You realize you've got different values. Like what I was saying, when you're dating, you live in a fairy tale. You realize, oh my God, Priska is into politics. Or we can even, I'll be like, oh, I'm fine, you can go to your church, I can go to your church, we'll sort it out. Then when you're in marriage, do you want to go to two different churches? No, it's going to affect your thing. Then before you knew it, I'm going to church with this. I'm going to cheat with the man who is going to the same church with me because we share the same interests. We share with the same
Like
values.
this is the man of God, and then you follow him. The other one.
Let's even go deeper. When I said same interests, if you, maybe I'm into marathon, maybe I'm into swimming, maybe I'm into hiking. Then must I go hiking alone every time? Must I go to marathon every time? We must share and we must meet between the bridge when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to go hike every day with this one. I'm going to find someone who is like,
Who's
who
excited?
emotionally and
Yeah.
vibe with me. What
Yeah.
is it going to do? There's groups,
you
we're
guys
going to create
closer.
groups and this. Then you're just going to be that partner who will be just home sitting. That's boring.
Boring. Yeah.
If I'm an active partner, we must work towards it. Then you realize that after marriage, there's also the issue of parenthood. I think I talked about that. when women think that they must concentrate on kids. It actually breaks my heart that you go to some families, then you realize the husband is the one who is actually acting like the mom. You're putting more pressure on a man, or the man is putting more pressure on the other partner. You must help when you get married. It doesn't mean that your wife must be a slave or the husband must be a slave. You
Yeah.
must be able to help each other. Just imagine like the way I work.
Yeah.
I'm at work maybe during the day, I'm at work at night. When I go home, I'm already emotionally stressed. I'm already tired. But how do you expect me to wake up at 6 a.m. every day? You say, okay, you're going to wake up at 8 today, I'm going to sort out the kids. So sometimes you find out it affects partners in a bigger way, to such an extent that this guy will be like, sleeping, these kids crying and running around the house.
Yeah.
I'm going to a side chick because there is peace there. Then there's also the issue of compatibility. Are you compatible as partners? This must start when you're dating. Are you compatible? Can you share the same interests? That one can actually kill relationships. Because look at me. I talk, I like talking. I don't want a partner who is quiet. You'll be bored with me in 2 seconds because I like to talk. Then there's also the issue of lack of intimacy.
Okay.
Like what I was saying, as a man, practice to spoil your wife. When I say spoiling, I didn't say buy flowers. If you know that I like pap, just make it a surprise. Make me pap out of the blues. Their wife as well. Us as wives or as women, we always think that we're the receiving end from our men. No, we're not the receiving end. We must also learn to spoil our husbands.
Amen.
Buy him tires if
Say
he's
that
got a
again.
car.
I hope the viewers heard that. This point is strongly supported.
Then there's also the issue of relationship maintenance.
Okay.
When I say relationship maintenance, you don't just create a relationship, guys. You maintain it.
Yeah.
By maintaining it, be prayer warriors together. It doesn't make sense that you are a prayer warrior. Me, I don't even care about you praying. No, it kills the whole vibe. Like what I was saying, maintain the kids together, do things together, learn to do things as a family. You decide to go to one church, otherwise don't go to church. It doesn't make sense that you're going to be, maybe she's going to be a Buddha, this one is going to be Muslims. It's going to be two different things. This one believes in Christmas, this one doesn't believe in Christmas. So Christmas is going to come, then what?
Yeah.
So when it comes to that, it all goes back to compatibility, relationship maintenance. So that's where you can see these red flags when you are dating. Don't let it go to what? To marriage.
Yeah.
It's gonna kill the whole vibe. That's why you see some people get married like for 2 months, I mean it. Then you'll be like, what really happened there? The white wedding, this and this. Because they overlooked at some things when they were dating. Then it went to marriage.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
So that's where I'm coming from. There's so many factors which leads to these things. But I think I can also go back to this issue of school groups.
Okay.
That one is a hot one. As a person, I don't want to feel that my schoolmates thinks, Priska can no longer talk because she's married.
Yeah.
Right? But there's always a problem in the school groups. Maybe I've got my ex there. Maybe he's having problems there. Maybe I don't know if you believe in male-based or female-based, which is also complicated.
That needs a podcast on its own.
That was a sticky one.
Where I go and confide into my male friend. That is also another form of infidelity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why must I go and confide in a male friend yet your partner is here? So it's all those things which will actually lead to what? To cheating. If you can allow me to say that. Yeah.
For me, I think I wanted to refer us to some things here that Proverbs chapter 6. Proverbs chapter 6, verse 32. It says, he who commits adultery lacks sense.
Yes.
He who does it destroys himself. And then it says in 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 16, do you not know that he who unites himself with a prostitute is one with her in the body? For it is said the two will become one flesh. So that's how strong the Bible talks about infidelity. that if a man does it, he lacks understanding. And you combining yourself. You know, when you become a Christian, Christ is living inside you.
Yeah.
Now you take Christ with you to sleep with a prostitute. That's
Yeah,
very
yeah.
strong. So I think maybe it can work as a deterrent to some people that might be entertaining those thoughts. And what she said, that this is very sensitive and serious matter. And I also mentioned the fact that infidelity is like no other sin. It's different from stealing 100 rand from somebody. You can maybe throw it in a bin when you decide to change, and you can walk home free. But with infidelity, it has got what they call adhesive particles. It attaches to you. And the consequences are far-reaching. They affect almost everyone that is involved.
Yeah, very, very strong. Very, very strong. And I think it takes an entirely different shape for us Christians, especially if you truly believe, and I think you want to live what you profess as a Christian. So it becomes a very, very different thing. So in the last few minutes, I want you guys to give closing words on this topic. But I want you to close on. Of course, we've spoken that it's not impossible, right? So I think there's a lot of hope for people that have gone through that, and I think what I've got from you guys is that it will need patience and it will need a lot of intentional effort. So now, for maybe just your last closing words for people that, before they get into there, what is the role of communication in terms of, say, safeguarding us from falling into that space? So how can we improve, or what aspects of communication can we add into our relationships to prevent us from eventually being, in committing infidelity towards each other?
Let me go first, and then our main protagonist will close, and then you guys can give your remarks. For me, I think when you mentioned the suggestion you gave about communication, I think it's important in the sense that because sometimes people don't communicate enough. That's why what she was saying, that I would take my issues and confide in another woman, because the communication in the house, maybe you are not given a chance. There are places where men are the chiefs, they are like the commanders. It's like you are in a military base. So the wife and the kids are commanded. They listen to commands. So there is no communication there. So this woman is going to find an outlet to be able to communicate with somebody. So I think communication is key in the sense that it will safeguard the other things. If this woman can pour out everything to me, and I can be able to pour out everything that I need, emotions, my aspirations, my everything, then I don't need to go to somebody else, because it is in these encounters that we get emotional attachment. And then one thing leads to the other, and you end up in the wrong side of things. And also the other thing that I wanted to mention is that sometimes they are, what do you call them? Growth issues, things that happened in the past as somebody was growing, and they were not dealt with. Which looks like a post-traumatic thingy, and this person never had help. And then they come and go into marriage, but their view of women and stuff is different, and has never been helped. So this also affects the thing and leads into that. So we can safeguard by seeking help. I'm thinking people, especially our African people, we need to learn to seek help when things have gone bad.
Powerful.
Okay, like what Mr. Munyoro say, our African culture is very patriarchal, where we think men must say everything and we must follow it. But at the end of the day, it doesn't mean that our African men are perfect. They also need help in so many ways. But if a man thinks that, okay, you are a woman, you're not going to tell me what to do, this is when he's going to confide into someone. There's no communication. Even us as Christians, why do we pray to God? We're asking, we're talking to God, we're communicating with God. So communication is very vital. Like what he said, childhood problems. Like I can give you an example of a child who grows in an unhappy marriage where a man is always beating his wife. This child is going to grow up and think that, okay, women are not important, you can butcher them. Same thing with women. We also have women who are busy beating men. If you've got a daughter, they're going to think men are just like useless. So when it comes to communication, it's very, very vital. Even the smallest thing, it's vital. Because if you don't talk about your finances, I'm going to sit down and look at your financial, like, where's that 10 rand, where's that 20 rand, where's that one? But we don't want to reach to that stage where I need to know, I need an account of all your 1 rand. Because you're going to meet your uncle. Are you not going to buy him a cool drink? But we mustn't reach a stage whereby you're like, where's that 10 rand? Where's this? But it all comes back to what? To communication. Even in the house, okay, I'm going to church. Okay, I'm going to the mechanic. Full stop. But if you just go to the mechanic, you don't tell me, then something happens there, then you come home at 1 a.m. What am I going to think? Maybe you're stuck with your car. But what am I going to think? As women, us, this. Will be like, oh, ho, ho, he was with other women, then there's a war which is starting. So, when it comes to communication, it's not only about relationships. Whether at our workplaces, wherever we are, communication is vital. If you don't communicate, then we're going to jump into silly conclusions. So, communication is very vital.
Okay, guys. Thank you guys for coming, being with us today. It was very nice having you. And also thank you to our co-host, Lucy. So today's topic, wow, I learned a lot. And yeah, it's very interesting. Thank you so much for that. And yeah, that's the end of the podcast. Stay in tune for the next one. Thank you.